Disqualification under Section 9A of RP Act 1951, that is, contract with appropriate government. Disclaimer: this training material is for use in training of election officials. It should not be referred as guidelines of Election Commission of India. In case of any variance in this training material, the ECI guidelines or rules or laws shall prevail. Learning outcomes. At the end of the session, the participants will be able to understand the statutory disqualification under Section 9A, that is, contract with appropriate government. Define contract as per Article 299 of Constitution. Cite SOP while dealing with the complaints regarding Section 9A of RP Act 1951. Understand the various legal positions regarding disqualifications. Disqualification under Section 9A. A person is disqualified if the person subsists a contract in the course of his trade or business with the appropriate government. Appropriate government means central government in the case of election to parliament and state government in the case of election to state legislature. Contract should be subsisting on the date of scrutiny of nominations. Contract should be either for supply of goods to the government or for execution of works undertaken by the government. Honorable Supreme Court in Dewan Joinal Abedin versus Abdul Wazid has held that contract for works means any works in the sense of projects, schemes, plans such as building works, irrigation works, defense works, etc. Works in the list 2 of 7th schedule of Constitution means erection, commissioning or installation of plant, machinery, equipment or structures, whether prefabricated or otherwise, installation of electrical and electronic devices, plumbing, drain laying, installation of transport of fluids, heating, ventilation or air conditioning including related pipe work, duct work and sheet metal work, thermal insulation, sound insulation, fireproofing, waterproofing, lift and escalator, fire escape staircases, elevators. Construction of new building or a civil structure or a part thereof or of a pipeline or conduit primarily for the purposes of commerce or industry. Construction of new residential complex or a part thereof. Completion and finishing services, repair, alteration, renovation or restoration of or similar services as mentioned above. Turnkey projects including engineering, procurement and construction or commissioning projects, etc. Contract with appropriate government means where a contract has been fully performed by the person or contractor and there was delay in the payment to him by the government, the contract shall be deemed not to subsist. A contract for the performance of any services undertaken by the government is no longer a disqualification. Meaning of contract. As per Article 299 of Constitution, contract means any such contract by the union or state government expressed to be made by the president or by the governor of the state as the case may be and shall be executed on behalf of the president or the governor by such persons and in such manner as he may direct or authorize. SOP if RO receives any complaint under Section 9A of RP Act 1951, RO has to satisfy himself that the complaint contains sufficient information to arrive at a prima facie satisfaction. If RO satisfied prima facie, Summary hearing for ascertaining the veracity of facts or allegation shall be proceeded. Notice to be sent to the candidate along with the copy of complaint and enclosures as soon as possible. In the notice, the date, time and place of hearing to be mentioned. Candidate to be informed that the reply should be on affidavit along with documentary evidences in its support. Documents to be submitted by the complainant. Proof regarding nature of entity, copy of deed of partnership, certificate of registration of the partnership or sole proprietorship firm. Income tax return of the entity, any document obtained from a public authority mentioning the existence of such entity. Proof of subsisting contracts with the appropriate government, registration certificate of entity or person as a contractor. Renewed registration certificate of the entity or person as a contractor. Letter or certificate of acceptance of tender of the entity by the government departments. Bills raised by the entity or sanctioned by the government departments. Extension of time applications for the work undertaken by the entity or grant of existence of time for the work undertaken by the entity. Any other document showing that the work undertaken by the entity or person subsisting on the date of scrutiny of the nomination papers by the candidate. Any other document which the complainant wishes to rely upon. Documents to be submitted along with the affidavit. During the hearing, the candidate will be given an opportunity to rebut the evidences produced by the complainant. Candidate to file affidavit in his support. Based on evidences produced during the summary hearing, the RO to pass speaking order either rejection or accepting the complaint. The RO may consider the following while deciding the case. If the RO is satisfied that the candidate has a good defense on merits, he may reject the complaint. If the candidate raises a triable issue indicating that he has a fair or bona fide or reasonable defense, the RO may not accept the complaint. If the candidate fails or delays to appear before the RO on the date, place and time fixed, the RO may draw an adverse inference against him. The RO may consider the following while deciding the case. If the complainant has refused to file the complaint on affidavit or refuses to give affidavit as required by the RO, he may choose to close the matter or decide the issue based on available admissible documents as mentioned above. The copy of the speaking order will be supplied to both the parties. Complainant, if dissatisfied, may file an election petition once the result declared. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubts or queries regarding this video, you can contact through the mail address as shown on the screen. For more election related material, you can visit the web address as shown. Thank you.